Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brothers of Tier podcast today. My name is Insane's Rain. I am your main host. Joined with me today is Crackle. Say hi.
Hey guys.
And Therentoy, my other deputy, my also amazing deputy. Say hi.
Hi, folks.
Alright, so this is episode 1. This is kind of a little beta thing that we're doing here. We're going to be experimenting with some stuff. Hopefully we'll get things right. In any case, how did we do over the week? Because a lot of things happened this week in PlanetSide 2. So yeah, how did things go?
Well, I think things went really well.
How so?
We had
How so?
our ops on Saturday night. A lot of people came out. We had some air going on, which was pretty fun. I'm not a big air person, but I'm getting better at shooting stuff while other people are flying.
How about you, Theron? Were you on Saturday?
I don't believe I was on for Ops Night itself, but I'm recurring in the mornings lately. I've been picking up with either Sari or Law or Orak when they squad or platoon lead here in the morning. It's pretty casual, but it's a fun time, folks. I gotta say, early morning events. Not too early, but I mean, 11 a.m. you kick open PlanetSide 2, you have a go, you lock a continent. What else to say?
Well, you couldn't lock the continent. Oh man. Speaking of our ops and stuff, let's see. This is being recorded on Monday, February 19th of 2018. We will be having our redeployment night here in a little bit. We'll actually be going to that once we're done recording here. But let's see. Just as a reminder for everybody, every Monday night is deployment night or redeployment night, however you'll like to call it. Basically, we go onto either the least populated or the faction that really isn't doing so well. Stuff like going on NC and being awesome, going on Vanu and trying not to suck. Stuff like that. So yeah, we just want to try to get our sister outfits up and going, making sure that we have people playing on all 3 factions. That hasn't been as much of an emphasis lately, admittedly, but that's because we've got some stuff going on in Council, which we might be able to get to later on today. But also as a reminder, we also have our main operations on TR every Wednesday and Saturday, right? This is our main B tier ops, and these are our private ops. We might bring in some puppies and whatnot and some close friends of the outfit, but it's mostly for us, and it's mostly to make sure that you, yes you, go ahead and have a good time. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally like having our Wednesday and Saturday ops. I personally can't make the Saturday ones because of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Recently with B tier, it feels like every night is ops night. There's so many people on.
It kind of does, but I believe it's Wednesday and Saturday. They're called our epic B tier ops nights.
Just about.
I mean, if you're gonna get on at all during the week, it might as well be a Wednesday or a Saturday.
Or a Monday. So
or
some
Monday.
sister
Yeah.
love.
like if you don't want to be wearing red all the time and dying, then it's a good idea to try out some other factions. You might I don't know about you guys, but myself personally, I've always found that when I go on to other factions and whatnot and try out their weapons, I always end up getting better on TR.
That's what I'm hoping for, but yeah, tonight my goal is to ride in a Mag Rider. I still have not tried one of those out.
Oh, dude, I will get you acquainted later tonight. Oh, Theron, did you have something?
Yeah, personally, I like to play around on the NC, folks, because it seems like deployment nights is, let's play Vanu because we're at 27% pop on server. But NC have some pretty rockin' things going for them, no doubt on that.
You know what? I'm always jealous of their shotguns that they have on their vehicles. Like, it seems that even when they're not infantry, they're still a royal pain in the ass, right? I mean, like, you get into a Reaver, or you're fighting a Reaver, you're trying to outchase it, but it's right behind you, and it's using, I think it's the Mustang, and it's just going ahead and busting caps in your ass.
Personally, I like the Nomad armor set, folks. I know it's expensive, and I don't have many qualms against spending against money, but it's a free game. But those cosmetics, they look pretty good. Nomad looks nice.
Isn't Nomad one of the ones that Doku made?
I don't know who made it. Doku made the AVA, which I personally use on my TR with the Storm Cloak type style. But
Ooh, dude.
the nomads are the heavy bulk of the NC armors, folks. I mean, it looks solid. It looks like it's made to protect you.
Even though it doesn't give you any additional health.
Yep, unfortunate.
Yeah. But hey, if it gives you more confidence, better luck to you. Well, in any case, with those primers out of the way, we're going to go ahead and delve into our topics this week. This week, we'll be providing a summary of Council. What is it? What is B-Tier Leadership Council? A lot of people still don't know what it is, or really what it's meant to be. So I'll be going ahead and I'll be giving a little bit of details into that. I'll also be giving maybe a little bit of details on some of the things we're working on. Not too much because it's still a lot of it's in the works, and we will be releasing it towards like early March. But just know that we are getting things going. We'll also be taking a look at our experiences from the Valentine's Day event, or Valentine's Week rather. And then on top of that, right after we're done talking about how many certs we've earned, we're going to be taking a look at Serious Gaming's newest video called Why It's Time to Hit It Hard in Planetside 2. Some of the things it talks about and all that. Then as in our last topic, I believe Theron Toy, he had some really good observations about the game he wanted to make, and just our topic based around a couple of things he was thinking about. But then, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, so for Council, oh man, this is gonna be fun. So what is Tier Leadership Council? So basically, it's the top tier of leadership. How it works is this. I'm pretty sure most of you in the outfit are very acquainted with our wonderful, magnificent leader, Captain Gino or Commander Gino. Everyone knows him as Gino. He goes by multiple titles depending on which platform he's on. But anyway, he's at the top, and he's our head chairman. The head chairman of the council, basically. Anything that the council itself does, he gets to overlook and just say, you know what, no, I don't think this is how it's supposed to be going. Right underneath him is Delta V. How do you say the last part of his name?
Delta V Phi.
V Pi?
I think
Okay,
it's Phi.
Phi. Delta V Phi. Sweet. But, yeah, anyway, he's just the second in command. He's also pretty cool, if I say so myself. He's the one that's really been a really crazy driving force for Council as of recently. But then right underneath him, you have 6 council members, and like each council member has their own special division and special things that they're good at and that they specialize in. They basically act as the mini Gino of their craft. So I Insane Rain am one of them. For public out, basically, I'm here to talk to you guys. And let's see, we also have Nikolai, or Chair Kicker, depends on which faction he's on, but he's our main air guy. If you want to learn more about air, and if you want to get as good at shooting as Crackle over here, then you go ahead and you talk to Nikolai. He is the guy to talk to. Then we also have Base EXC. He's our construction guy. If you want to learn more about ants and you want to learn more about how to not suck at building bases, he's definitely the guy to talk to. I've been looking at some of his bases, and they're solid. Like, we've had some really good base builders in the past, but he's solid and he's rocking it good. What do you guys think?
We built that Great Wall of Araxes. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. That's something I'll definitely be needing to take a look at. I have footage for that. I just need to take a look at it and make sure that it's good enough to put up on YouTube and all that. Then, go ahead.
With the implement of the new bases as of the new update, the new land bases with the points outside makes it great for base building, folks. And armor, base building, throw it out there. If you see base up, ask him what's going on a continent. Except Hassan, maybe we have something going on there, but Indar, Amrish, and Esamir, all up for sales. And I gotta say, I've seen base build on top of those points quite a bit.
Yeah, no. You know what's funny is that I remember one late night, like it was around, I don't know, 2 in the morning Eastern time, but basically we had, like, Indar just barely came about. They were still, like, the unstable warp gate was in effect, and so what did we do? I grabbed a Galaxy and we flew over to the base, the southern base. What's it called? The something checkpoint. Anyway, it's on the southern ladders between names are eluding me. Help.
I know the Crown.
That's not
Which
south.
continent?
Indar, south.
Lowlands checkpoint, or is it?
Yeah, Lowlands checkpoint. That's what it's called. But no, it was so funny. We actually got like a bunch of infantry. Like, it was literally just a squad of infantry. We dropped out of the Galaxy and we capped the point. We literally held the point from as infantry, and just so everyone is aware and is on the same page. that's a lot of flatlands. And we had most of the TR backing us, but we also had like a bunch of Vanu fighting us. No, I don't think it was Vanu. I think it was NC. But man, they were fighting hard, and we were just dying left and right. But it was so much fun just to say, yeah, we capped something that infantry is not supposed to cap, and we kept it nice and well. Man, but in any case, moving on from base EXC, we have Dookie, who is our resident vehicle nut. He is the council leader for vehicles. Let's see, harassers, lightnings, prowlers. Uh, give him anything, and he will literally make your day. Like, not even kidding. Then let's see, we have Sir Floopy, who is our main infantry guy. He is, man, he's really good as a platoon leader for infantry, isn't he?
I think so. I like
Like,
running with him. Yeah.
yeah. Like, what's your favorite part, Crackle?
The certs? No, I like somebody who's willing to take control of the situation, and I think he does that very well.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to say that as well. He kind of has that authoritative voice, doesn't he? Just that kind of like little charm that makes you want to listen a little bit. Like you get the feeling that he knows what he's talking about, right?
Definitely. I'd say he has some charm.
All right. So then our last one here is gravity increase. Now this guy I've been working with pretty much as long as I've been here at Brothers of Tier. And I personally think we couldn't have picked anyone better for our command staff. Basically, for command staff, he's he's looking into stuff like internal affairs. He's like trying to make sure that everyone is up to date on their promotions, their trainings, um, basically a lot of spreadsheets and stuff. That, as far as I understand it, and he's he's nuts. He really is good platoon leader. He's really the most sensible out of all the people we have in council. Definitely the most sensible, I would say. Let's see. But then we also have our deputies, right? That so for me that would be Crackle and that'd be Thorntoy. They are technically under me, but let's face it, I go to them for everything, and they are just simply amazing. Now each council member has their own deputies. I believe. I think everyone but base. I think, if memory serves me right. I don't know, but outside of that, yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of deputies that really help make council work and work awesomely. And so, like a shout out to our deputies. Thank you. So let's see. So that's like basically the structure of council. But what council is more or less about is this: we let's see. We in council we create a lot of doctrine and we do a lot of leading, right? Which makes sense, right? Since we're at the top of the food chain. But what we do more than anything is that we literally sit around and talk and talk and talk and talk. Like we are constantly going. Like the Discord server I set up for council, which we use, is just simply nuts. I don't know about you guys, but I constantly get notifications from council because we're just working on so much. Right? Like Theron, do you get notifications from council often?
Of course I do. Not directed at me, of course, but I read everything that comes through the council, even if it doesn't involve me fully, just to know about it, folks. And I gotta say, it's active. Nowhere near, of course, as active as our main Discord here. But I mean, we're doing things, and I see messages all the time. There's conversation. The council members have access to each other and communicate easily, and that's what we need the most.
Yeah, it's simply incredible to see what council is working on every day, right? Like I don't think there's really been a day that's gone by where council is completely silent. Um, but my heavens, like our main Discord is just nuts, right? Like there are times when or like most of the time nowadays, I actually have to set my entire profile down to do not disturb, mostly because we have so many messages going through our main Discord here. Just so many things going on, and I think we should give another shout out to our members, right? I mean, I think that I think that they're the most important parts of our wonderful ecosystem that we have here.
Yeah, no need for council if you don't have any members.
Yeah.
But no, my only issue with this Discord though is why are people having conversations at 5 in the morning? Go to bed, guys.
Bed is good. Bed is very good. In fact, I'm sitting on my bed right now as we're recording this. I love my bed that much. Oh man, like, what is this I'm looking at? The Planet Side 2 thing. Never mind. Now's not the time to get distracted. No. Let's see, but that's a summary of council right there. And we mostly exist to make sure that things are going and that the outfit's constantly evolving, both in the game and outside of the game. And it's very important that we get both just right. Otherwise, we've had some fiascos in the past. Those of you who've been with Buzzateer for a little while can definitely say that the end of 2017 and beginning of 2018 was a bit of a rough patch, but one that we put out immediately, and we did our best to keep things nice and smooth. Well, let's see. Moving on from our summary of council, let's go ahead and talk about the Valentine's Day or Valentine Week, if you will. And let's go ahead and just talk about how many certs we got, because it was ridiculous. Alright. So, for the Valentine's Week event, so we had a lot of things come about. We had, I think it was a few battle rifles come around for this. We had double XP week, right? So it was mostly just like a lot of people coming on to farm a bunch of certs and everything. Um, then on top of that, we had a lot of vehicle play. We had a lot of air play. We got a lot of play everywhere. And I don't know about you guys, but I think I earned somewhere in the ballpark of around 2,500 certs throughout the week.
You might be a better player than I am.
Well, I've had more time, but that doesn't qualify me as a better player.
I mean, I've been downtime for the last week, unfortunately. Real life stuff catching up with me, but I still got on and played Medic for like 40 minutes on 2 days, or maybe an hour, and I was rocking inserts. I mean, can get 400 in 2 hours or something insane like that. And I'm not saying I'm the best there is as a medic, but you take grenade loop, 3 grenades, revives. You see a squad go down, you toss that into the room next to him, and oh, look at that! I just got 12 revives. Would you look at that?
And all of them are like 500 experience points, right?
A little bit below that, but yeah, they're close, folks. I mean, revives count, even if they're only at half health, and you can throw them in. Not saying I like to feed fights, but when certs are involved and I want something, oh, you know I'm doing it.
Oh yeah. You know what's funny is that like I think my biggest cert maker was killing people with extreme menace attached to them. Like not even kidding, I would get somewhere in the ballpark of 1,700 experience points every single time one of those guys went down.
Even assist. I mean, if you're taking out shields on heavies, overshields, or just regulars, you can get 200 points on average just for the assist without double XP. Kick that up, then kill assist on top of that, extreme menace kill assist. And it's like,
Dude,
wow.
it's simply nuts. Like what happens when you have almost quadruple the experience points, right? And one would even argue, like, why don't we have this all the time? Well, fact of the matter is that as soon what this means is that like as soon as people are done with their certs, that's when we're going to be getting a new Empire specific weapon. Like, because everybody is up on certs right now. As soon as they see that all the cert counts are going down, I think that's when they'll start really adding stuff in.
Speaking of that, I mean, we have the new line of Valentine's Day weapons, the Valentine Archer, the Blackheart, and the whatever it's called. I don't remember. There's two versions of the crossbow that we have now that have this special little effect that when you hit an enemy, hearts come out of it. Because nothing says I
Aww.
love you more than a foot of steel in your chest or head.
A foot of steel. Sheesh. Like, that's gotta be rather painful if you don't die on impact, right? I mean, just like think about this, right? You're going about your business, killing other planet men. Next thing, you get a giant metal spike going through your arm, right? That I don't think that sounds really pleasant.
No, it doesn't.
It definitely doesn't sound pleasant. And then all of a sudden, like hearts start coming out. You gotta wonder, like, what kind of hallucinogenics you're seeing at that point, right? Like,
Not only that, but before that we had the Watchmen and the Maw and the Promise drop with the new update, which are essentially the big brothers of the SMGs that came out previously. The Jackal, the Canis, and the Gladius. So you have the
okay.
SMG and the LMG.
Let's go ahead and talk about the SMGs first, because
Yeah.
those ones sparked quite a bit, uh, quite a bit of
Controversy.
discussion. Yeah, controversy, discussion. Um, but let's see. Like, I don't know what exactly it was, but it felt like TR kind of got the short end of the stick, didn't it?
Short
When
end of the stick indeed on the SMG. The Jackal was a tremendous letdown in comparison to the other two SMGs.
like Yeah, like the Jackal, while it had a good rate of fire, it had some okay damage, but what I personally didn't like is that it just felt like the cone of fire was maybe a little bit too large, I think. Like your bloom would just go out of control if you tried to kill anybody with it, and it really required you to aim towards center mass and not necessarily at the head. At least that's the feeling I got from it. Playing with the Gladius a little bit, I managed to, like, I saw it was very NC, right? It it had a nice slow rate of fire. It was powerful. Like it felt very NC to me, right? Like you take a look at some of the weapons like the Gauss-Saw, or let's see, Gauss-Saw. You have some of the Railjack and all that. Like they are slower weapons, but they are heavy hitters. Like you do not want to get hit with these weapons.
Fair enough on that. The Gladius was an excellent design. It does have the highest damage in its class of an SMG at the slower fire rate than almost any SMG, I believe. The Vanu Canis, however,
Oh,
pre-December 7th or 9th, I don't remember the exact date, folks, but this was the top played gun for 2 days after, or however long until the
I
hot
think it was like
fix
a couple
came out.
weeks.
No, it was not a couple of weeks.
Couple
I
weeks.
think
Oh,
maybe one at most. A few days at least.
dude. But no, I still remember getting killed by it for weeks afterward, despite all that, though.
Even that, the hotfix, essentially the Canis, folks, is a high-firing SMG. However, the longer you hold down the trigger on its considerable magazine size, it increases fire rate to that of almost seeming like a TR weaponry when you compare the Vanu's lack of drop-off with their bullets and its laser accuracy.
Then
Not
on
only
top of
that,
that, add on the unstable ammo.
yep,
Oh.
then stable ammo had to be hot fixed because it was essentially making the Canis an all-rounder weapon that was good at killing anybody. Could break a heavy assault's overshield in a matter of 2 seconds and eat through the guy behind you in the next third.
Yeah, like no lie. As soon as like the SMG came out, like what I see the next day, I saw so many compilations of just the cannon ripping through people like Swiss cheese. It's not even funny. Like I remember watching a video. It was saved on Twitch, and it had like a what 47 kill streak with
It's
that.
insane.
Yeah,
The
it
fact
really.
that anybody can equip it. Anyone.
I mean, like the guy was
No.
clearly very skilled with it. He knew what he was doing, but it was just nuts. As soon as he looked at him, boom, dead. Like it clearly wasn't a hack. He was putting down bullets, but oh my god, like the guy ran out of ammo and then switched over to his secondary, where where he got like another 3 or 4 kills in before he went down.
It's impressive, no doubt, but that gun at the start was, we don't fully know what the developers were thinking. But now that we come back to it, the Canis now is decent, to say the least.
Yeah,
Good.
no,
I still see
it's
it in
still a good
play quite a
addition.
bit.
Like it's still a good addition to the game, but I'm pretty sure like most Vanu were like I swear I have never seen Vanu's pop swell as much as it did when the Canis came around, right? So like on Emerald, normally you see anywhere from 24% to maybe 30% at most for population on Vanu. I swear, like it was almost like the TR and Vanu switched places for a few days.
It's the power of one overpowered weapon attachment, folks. Nonetheless, if we look back at the Jackal, oh boy. Everything the Canis was is what the TR weapon should have been. High rate of fire that increases when you lay the trigger down. Oh, what I wouldn't give in for that. Because that's
Yeah,
TR's ability. We throw bullets down range. Some of them don't hit, of course. But when you're throwing that much mass down range, somebody's going to get hit. The
oh
Jackal
man,
was...
this gives a completely new perspective on suppressive fire.
That's TR's main business, folks. We're peacekeepers first, but when we get down to business, we're coming at you with quite a bit of bullets.
Yeah, just like, hello, would you like a wall of lead to come down to your house today? Oh man,
Nonetheless, the
speaking of
Jackal...
suppressive fire in DACA, let's go ahead and actually transition this over to the LMGs, right, which barely came out a little while ago. Like I want to say last week,
No, I think it's been 2 weeks now.
2 weeks. Well, shows you how much I've been in game.
Feels like a
Um,
long time.
yeah, no kidding. But let's see, I haven't taken a look at the Vonu LMG yet. But I can certainly talk about the NC LMG a little bit and a little bit of the TR LMG. So the TR LMG, which is called the Watchman, right? And it's basically a TAR, but in LMG form. It's nuts. It really is. I mean, a high rate of fire, 125 round magazine. On top of that, you got some impact on ammo, which drops your magazine size from 125 to 100. And on top of that, I mean, it's not the best for pushing up, but what it is, it's definitely more of a holding weapon. If you have 3 or 4 people equipping it, like you can hold almost anything, minus a bunch of vehicles coming down on you with Hesh rounds.
To be honest, the Watchman is a tri-barreled rotary system, folks, with a side mag, a drum that is, similar to a 9mm Russian SMG. Essentially, this thing has 125 rounds and one of the fastest speeds for an LMG. It spits through bullets, and it's got a fairly decent drop-off point in comparison to some of the other TR weapons with a very good cluster. To be honest, this is one of the greatest LMGs we've had in a while, and I have used it personally and have found it to be great. With the Promise, I don't know too much about the Promise. I have heard from some NC players that the Promise was found lacking in comparison to its little brother, the Gladius. However, the NC Promise does look, as its name is, promising. As for the Vonu Maw, can't say too much about that. I don't play Vonu too often, but the intricate looks, along with the design of the Vonu, taking to mind that they're no drop-off, does seem as an interesting choice for their LMG.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like, it looks interesting, and I personally want to bite into it and see how it performs. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll get that opportunity tonight. But I think that would be a very interesting gun to go ahead and get into. And you know what? Let's go and just let's make this a topic for next week and just go into more detail about like how each of the LMGs feel, or feel a little bit more, right? And see if we can't give more insight to our lovely members here at Brothers of Tier. All right, so let's see. Outside of that, I mean, we have like I think it was just like a lot of people earning certs and spending them where they needed. I know Sorry said he got somewhere around like 3,000, 3,500 certs, and then he turned around and spent them all on implants.
I mean, hey, he's a 120. I'm pretty sure Sorry has everything for the TR in the game. If
Yeah,
not, he's working on the final pieces.
yeah. I think the only things he doesn't have is the like couple $1,000s worth of cosmetics.
He's one of the few. I was taken advantage of in that sense. I really do enjoy the look of the cosmetics, folks. The AVA armor is by far my favorite TR armor. The new Arburator set that just came out, though, right before the Valentine's Day equipment, does look pretty interesting, especially for the light assault with its jump jetpack.
Ooh, I don't think I've seen that. What does it look like?
It's not very intricate. It looks like the standard player armor. However, the jump jet and the chest plate are a little bit heavier set. It is not as elaborate, of course, as the AVA armor set, and the helmet, I believe it's an Arburator helmet, but the bundle is supposedly called the Peacekeeper. I'm not so sure about that. Don't hold me to that, but I've seen a few pictures, and I've seen it float around a little bit. I do not know if it is fully available yet, though. Don't hold me to that, but I've seen it on the forums.
Yeah, but from the sounds of it, it actually sounds quite nice. Just like a little improvement over the basic design of what the average Planet Man looks like. I think that's something I can get into. It's just something nice, simple, and sexy.
For me, I went all out, both on my TR and my NC character. Not so much on the Vanu, because I don't play them too often. NC Nomad equipment, of course, folks. If you want to look like you want to take somebody down, go with the Nomad on the NC. For TR, AVA armor if you're feeling like a stormtrooper.
I actually have I have AVA equipped on my medic, and oh my gosh, I just love the look on it. Just like you get this feeling like this is how a combat medic really is supposed to look like, right? I mean, like, it almost looks like a half cloak, with like a bunch of different attachments on it, right? And you just have like a bunch of grenades on one side. You have like almost like a knife on the other. You just feel like you're wearing a lot of protective layers that you can share with other people almost, right?
You don't see it in game so much, but if you look on it, you look like you mean business. And if anything has taught me about the battlefield, your physical appearance matters just as much as how you act on the field. You looking scary, you gonna be scary.
Like, you know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to go ahead and grab, I always wanted to grab a bunch of max cosmetics because some of the things you see for the maxes, oh my god, they're fucking terrifying.
Oh, no doubt on that. The max is all across the board, except for maybe the Vanu, just because
No, even
they're
on the
made for
Vanu, they're pretty
they're made
scary.
for a sleeker design. Not personally me, but the NC, I don't know what class it is. The max cosmetic, but the biggest one with the backpack events all the way across that makes you look like you could challenge a harasser head on and win. You're going to tear through somebody with that.
And I'm sure you're not gonna just like tear them a Kit Kat by any chance.
No, I don't share my Kit Kats, folks.
How about you, Crackle? Do you share Kit Kats?
I'm more of a Snickers person, but if you try to touch it, I will uh, not be very polite towards you.
Will you bite our hands off?
That's the polite way of saying it.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. So this got sidetracked off of our Valentine's Day stuff, but in case, I personally liked Valentine's Day event. I wish we could have more events like this. So, in any case, let's go and move on to our next topic here concerning a YouTuber who has touched all of our hearts in Planetside 2, and one who will continue to provide the best in Planetside 2 content. Alright, and that's all we have for our Valentine's Week event. So moving on to our next topic here, is Serious Gaming's most recent video called "It's Time to Hit It Hard" in Planetside 2. So, for those who have not watched it, the basic premise is this. He wanted to give us a quick update on things and to really just let us be in the know of something rather important, rather interesting. So, so basically, I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of PUBG and Fortnite and a bunch of other battle royales, right? Now, while H1Z1 was not the first, it's been pretty much overshadowed by these other wonderful battle royale games. And because people are latching on to some more of the PUBG and some more of the stuff like Fortnite and everything, they are leaving H1Z1. Taking a look at their Steam charts here, give me a second here. So, just to give all you planet men and women some perspective here, at its height, right before PUBG came out, H1Z1 was sitting around 86, almost 87,000 average players. The peak player count of 150,000, right? So this was definitely outclassing Planetside 2. This was back in July of 2017. But then ever since PUBG came out, unfortunately, it's come down to quite the downhill slope. It's moved from 86,000 down to 70,000, down to below 50, and going down and down until January, it went down to 12,000 players. 12,000 players. And that accounts for the entirety of its player base. Well, 12,000 average players, mind you. That accounts for the entirety of their player base because if you want to go ahead and download H1Z1, you do it through Steam, right? So basically, from January all the way to where we're at now, mid-February, right? We've already gone down 3,379 players in H1Z1, right? Like that's 27% of their current population base. The difference between the 2 months. So, what does this mean? right? What it means is that H1Z1 is starting to fade out, out of existence. Some people have heard of it, some people have played it, but unfortunately, it's no longer the king of the kill uh, of Battle Royale games. But why is this important? Well, the reason is because H1Z1 here uh, has been made by Daybreak Games. In fact, the two games that we know the most about, PlanetSide 2 and H1Z1, they were built using the same engine. They were H1Z1 was basically like a reskinned version of PlanetSide 2, and then adapted for a couple different game modes and everything. So basically, you have a bunch of really experienced players, or sorry, no, not players, really experienced developers over on the H1Z1 side that know most of the similar engine stuff as for PlanetSide 2. Which, interestingly enough, if you look at PlanetSide 2 right now, we've been on the up and up for the past few months. Over in December, January, and even halfway through February, we are gaining a lot of players back into all this. It's kind of nuts to take a look at, because, and I know I'm going on a rant here, and I know some of you guys are getting bored already, but basically we are up around 230, 240 average players from November, which was, I think, right before Critical Mass was announced, or around the time when Critical Mass was announced. And let's see, right after that, well, some people really didn't like it. They went down 200 players now, but now we've gone back. We are back to where we started a few months ago, but we are gaining more and more people. Again, we're most of the way through February here, and we are gaining more and more players back. A 10% gain from last month. That's nuts. That, I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty nuts to me. Hearing that company resources might end up shifting over to us, as is mentioned inside the video. But here's the thing: is that this Steam charts does not account for all the players in PlanetSide 2, right? If you go ahead and if you want to download PlanetSide 2, they bring you to their own launcher, right? So what this means is simple. If you want to download PlanetSide 2, you don't have to go through Steam. All you have to do is open up the launcher and then start playing, which means that not everybody is currently playing through Steam. So while we may have around 2,000 players right now, active players inside the community throughout the entire world, there are still a bunch of people still using that launcher. And on top of that, we also have a few PS4 versions, like a few PS4 servers on top of that. So right now, we are comparable to H1Z1. The difference is that we are making more money for Daybreak Games than H1Z1. And that's simply amazing, because if we are making more money than a 6-year-old game, or going on 6 years, than a game that's been going on for 2, and one that was significantly more popular and significantly better heard of, had a better launch and development period and everything, and we are doing better than them at this current time. You know what that means? That means we might be getting more resources handed over to PlanetSide 2, right? If we get some more developers and we get some more people working on this, could you imagine just the heights that PlanetSide 2 could achieve? Like,
I can definitely imagine it.
yeah, I mean, like see all the improvements that we've had so far. We've just had 3 new developers enter the fray. Like since the implant system, we've gotten 3 new developers, and because of that, with PlanetSide 2 and our perseverance and our love towards this game is really starting to pay off, and it's starting to show to our corporate overlords here that, you know what, PlanetSide 2 is a game that's meant to stick around, and it's one that people want for it to stick around, and they want it to grow and really show what a game can be.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but this Valentine's Day event really showed me how many people we still have playing, and it felt awesome.
Yeah, even inside the video, Sirius, he was going ahead and he was saying, hey, I haven't experienced vehicle fights as cool as this for a long time. Thank you. And he was rattling off a bunch of Connery outfits, and yeah, that's just something really, really cool to just hear about and everything. Eh, to hear that you're making like one of the biggest YouTubers for PlanetSide right now just making him really happy to play and making him want to play more. I think that's kind of something that you spark onto others and say, hey, I think we should get on more often as well. I mean, that sounds really cool. Oh man, but enough on that rant. Like I want to ask you two a question, partially so I can let my voice rest, and partially because I'm pretty sure that our listeners might want to listen to someone else for a little bit. Like if you guys had an update come around tomorrow, right? What would you want in that update? Theron, can we start with you?
I'm not so sure. I mean, there could be a lot of things I'd like in the game. To be honest, I'd like it so when B tier, shows up on all the population listing, oh, we get a little thing. I feel like if one of the things were to be an upgrade, it would be who affected the map most in locking a continent. Folks, I think we all know we're appreciated for the TR and for the other factions when we do deployment nights, but percentage levels, some ratings or something, I'd be down for that. Maybe some new guns as well. Something newer, shinier. I like the way the direction of the Jackal and the Watchman are taking, the Promise and the Gladius, the Maw and the Canis. Because, to be honest, let's go back to the lore. TR are essentially the main Republic. They're the people from Earth. NC and Vanu branched off afterward. NC going more to a corporation and building gauze weaponry, railguns. Of course, TR sticking with the main ways. And then we have Vanu doing alien technology with plasma. But I mean, it kicks it in. It doesn't make so every gun looks the exact same. And that's what I want. I want variety. Something to make the game a little bit more brighter, appealing to the user.
So you would like more of an art overhaul of sorts?
Some of the guns, I mean, yes, different varieties of guns. I mean, we have essentially so many guns that look almost the same for the TR, and I know some of the NC guns look very similar. The Vanu ones, I mean, half the bodies for the LMG, I couldn't tell you the difference unless they've got a foldable stock on them.
Yeah, I get that feeling too, looking at all these, like, sure, there are some minor differences, but for the most part, it looks like it was copy and paste, which can work, but yeah, honestly, I would love it if we had more people from the community that just like created new versions of the guns and stuff that we've all come to know and love, right? Like, sure, you want some guns to look similar, like the T9 Carv and the T9 Carv S, right? That's understandable, but at the same time, a T9 Carv shouldn't look like a TMG 50 and MSWR. Just like list goes on and on, right? The guns all looking so similar and everything. I would agree. I think that having that kind of overhaul would be really, really cool. How about you, Crackle? If there was an update tomorrow, what would you want changed?
Honestly, I don't think I could ask for anything right now. I started playing PlanetSide at the end of 2017, right around when you said we had issues, so hopefully it wasn't me. Um, but I am still just enjoying unlocking the new things that are already available to me. I recently found out that Engineer, the class that I play the most, can throw down sight darts. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. Um, Getting pink armor at some point, because everybody raves about it, is another thing. But yeah, I mean, I can't ask for anything else right now because I'm still enjoying the world that's been given to me.
All right. Yeah, no, those are no, those are both legitimate responses. Hey, I'm still a little bit new. I still have some things I want to explore first, and on the other side of the token, oh, I think our guns could look a bit better. I like those. For me personally, I think having not so many bugs in the game would be nice. Um, and then on top of that, uh, I think maybe better performance is what I would uh, is what I would like to have. Um, like if like I know this would be something big, and there's no way that this could have been done in a 24-hour period. But one thing I would love to have is for the engine to be upgraded up to DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. That I think that would be really cool. So that way my PC can actually, run at 60 frames a second all the time and not just have these random frame drops going from 50 or 60 down to like 11 for several seconds before coming back up. I
You
think.
might as well just make PlanetSide 3 then. No,
Oh
8
no.
I mean,
continents.
while you say that,
Please. Let's do land to water battles and super heavy units. Why not? No, I'd be down.
No, you're not the only one. Let's see. There's this user within our community. His name is Cheese Ponage, and
Yep,
he
I've
actually,
seen the write up
yeah, he
and
he
see.
wrote up, yeah, he wrote up a little thing where, like his theory for implementing a PlanetSide 3, right? Like having a bunch of new kinds of outposts and stuff, new music and everything, which is another thing I would like to have within PlanetSide 2. Just saying, awesome new music. Um, and just in general, like an improvement over everything. Um, I think a lot of his ideas were actually very very sound. And there was this one that I had heard and that was very interesting was that like you'd have all the continents connect together through like underground tunnels and everything. You had to get get a bunch of resources and stuff from those tunnels, like giving pretty much like the ant a completely new objective than just grabbing cordium and pulling up bases. Like actually maybe having them dig for like Araxium or something like that, under the crust, and just trying to get it back to your faction. I think a that'd be interesting to be fighting underground for logistics.
Not only that, but one of the things he actually talked about in there showed up in the game just recently. I mean, we have the new bases, as you know, in Indar, Amarish, and Esamir, the lattice lines that connect to points that are out in the open that are made for base building. She's actually selected in there. He dedicated a small paragraph to it, but essentially there were some bases that could only be captured through armor rushes or vehicle because they'd be out in the open or with little cover, and it wouldn't be mainly infantry, and we saw that in the next update. And I was impressed with the development on that. I thought that was a pretty big game-changing element because it not only made it so that it took the building part to bases, but it also made it a thing that is both important to the player and as a lattice line to the continent itself. It didn't just put it out in the middle of nowhere. It made it in between direct places.
Relevant.
Yes, it made it on the with the unstable warp gate. Most of those, especially on Endar, the two base building bases that are out in the open that just have capture points are on the edge lattice lines when the warp gate is unstabilized that you can fight over. they're usually the first ones to get hit because they're big choke points. They open up some of the hardest lattice lines in the game.
Yeah, and I'm actually really glad that they added some of these places where they added them, because the places between like Indar X and Quartz Ridge are always hellish to go through, but now we actually have a reason to go there instead of just saying, oh, hey, we need to get a foothold on things. No, we actually have something legitimate that we can uh, say, okay, hey, we need to defend this line, otherwise we're gonna lose some more territory percentage, right? That to me is something really nice, a really nice addition um, that they got. Oh man, so like all in all, Sirius's video really sparked a lot of hope for me, and I know quite a few other people for PlanetSide 2. And as he said, we need to hit it hard. We need to get in the game. We need to go ahead and play for a while, so that way we can keep up the numbers. Right? If we can keep it up for a few more months, then there's a good chance that we will get it more development. And I can only see that as being a good thing for the game. I remember Rel, he got like for the 5-year anniversary, he went ahead and he was talking to the player base about like the roadmap for 2018, and basically like some of the ideas he was tossing around was, improving the new player experience a bit more, um, so that way it doesn't take months and months to really become a true master or true competent player, right? Um, which I, which again I can only assume is a good thing. Then on top of that, making outfits more than just a few ranks and a sheet, right? In game, which is basically where outfits are right now. Most of the development for these things go outside of the game, whereas in other games and other ways they introduce guilds and everything, they're all inside the game, right? Everything is developed inside the game. Like take EVE Online for instance. I don't know if you guys have played it at all, but basically there are so many different levels that you're part of that it's kind of nuts to sit back and think about it all, right? The game is huge, and the amount of players that you can have on there is also huge, and just the large scale things that you can do with like you can legitimately make a fully fledged community within that space. Eh, like they have their own equivalent of Discord and everything in there, but Discord is thankfully a lot easier to use. But just that level of detail and that level of, oh hey, we need to make sure people can work together more fluidly, is something I greatly admire, and that's something I wish we had more in PlanetSide 2. But yeah, I mean, serious. Now I might be getting a copy over to you, buddy, but you're definitely a big influencer on this game. Keep up your amazing work. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and finish off this topic here. And when we come back, Theron, I believe you had some observations on the game itself that you wanted to talk about, if memory is serving me correctly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, hang back, and then when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and jump. Then Darren's gonna go ahead and take over for a little bit and see what he has to say and all these observations and stuff that he's been making. Oops. Alright guys, and we're back. Alright, so Theron, you had some observations and some things you wanted to touch on. What were they?
to start off, back to Curious's Gaming's video as of late, the one thing that touched me in the video, besides the getting back into PlanetSide 2, was that the downfall, well, not so much of a downfall, but decrease in the player amount for H1Z1 is the issuing or the ideal of a pro league for a game such as H1Z1, a King of the Hill style game. Now, I don't come with any lies here, but I am no stranger to the toxicity of gaming. And one of the big pieces of toxicity in gaming, thankfully for PlanetSide 2, it does not have much toxicity. There's a little bit of salt here and there, folks, but that's inherent with any video game or competitive play you see. Anything that has you scoring something or earning something has that. And there's going to be people who want it, and those who want it more, it seems. Now, the implementation of a pro league in a game such as H1Z1, which is a King of the Hill style game, similar to Fortnite and PUBG, is detrimental. Because it causes a divide between players. And this is what I don't want to ever happen to PlanetSide 2. There is a difference between elitism and the difference between casual and people who would be seen as casual and those who would play for the pro league or a competitive scene, similar to any game with a ranking system. League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, anything with a definite player base that has both a ranking and a normal system. And to be honest, PlanetSide 2 is for the players. It is not to divide the players. Thankfully, it does that well. The implementation of a ranked would increase the ranked players would somewhat if they were not careful to look down upon people who played for just a casual sense of fun in the game, not to be fully competitive, but to have full enjoyment of the game. Not that saying ranked people do not have enjoyment in games, but it is more prone that you are wanting to win over having the fullest amount of fun. What are you willing to play, and what are you willing to have fun with? And that's something I never want to see with PlanetSide 2, and I feel that for a game such as H1Z1 or any King of the Hill game, should not be implemented for a pro league. No need to divide the player base. Because doesn't matter what faction you're on, doesn't matter who you're playing for. Doesn't matter what team you're on, you're still players. Shooter games, most shooter games, I understand. Ranks in a MMO, FPS, don't seem like a very good thing to me. Just my 2 pieces on that. If you went for MOBAs, I understand completely with the ranking system on that. There's a huge esports section for that. FPS tactical shooters such as CSGO and Rainbow Six, as I said, perfectly fine. But I do not want to see from anywhere dividing the player base of a game such as PlanetSide 2. Sure, we have our friendly competition between factions and other outfits, but that's all in the good sake of fun in the name of our axis.
Yeah, no, that's that's some deep thinking there, right? Like, by the end of the day, we're all in this together. I mean, like, this is a game where, uh, pardon me for making this bad pun, but where strength and unity really has some saying here, right? It really has some weight in this game, right? If you don't work together, or if you don't have the inclination to work together, then you're kind of screwed. You really are. And if you introduce a competitive league like that, then yeah, there's that sense of elitism, right? But like, here's the thing: is that we kind of have our own little competitive sphere. You know, it's server smashes, right? Done by PlanetSide Battles, right? That most people don't know about, but basically it's people getting together and fighting for real, right? Like sure you have your live play, but then you have your server smashes, and server smashes is really it's really the way to go in my opinion, because they are just so man, like I've personally never been, but the reason why I joined this game was for them. Basically, server smashes are community driven events where where you have a certain amount of players versus a certain amount of players. You have a few rules, and it's just a territory alert. And they are seriously competitive. Like you literally look at them or look at the live streams that PSB puts out, and which I can definitely include in the video description along with Sirius's video. Where it's almost nail biting at times because the fighting is so ferocious and everyone is just pushing themselves so very hard for a couple hours in order to make all this work. It's just unbelievable to see all this power come around. And just to see like the best of tactics and the best of strategy and the best of teamwork all come around and fight over these control points for the length that they do, and really seeing which tactics work and which don't. To me, that's just amazing. And I ended up watching the what was called the record smash, where they beat the world record for our most amount of players playing on a single map, and it was over 1,100 players. They did a 382 v 382 v 382, and it was for everybody all over the world. They all came together and they all fought. It was very intense. Like you had 96 plus fights going everywhere. Oh man. So Theron, was there anything else that you noticed or that you wanted to talk about?
Besides that, not much. Not much on my end. I've already said my pieces.
How about you, Crackle? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Only deployment night. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, that mag rider is calling my name.
All right. Well, guys, looks like this
We
is the.
might not even be on VS tonight, actually.
You hold your tongue, sir.
All right.
I don't know about you. I want to use my Nomad armor.
Oh man. Yeah, don't worry. We'll get some time on both factions today, both NC and VS, and we'll go ahead and end off our first podcast here. Now, this is Insanity's Reign, signing off.